Hello there, Scorpio ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. So, Scorpios, what I'd like to do is to engage you in a discussion, a new reading, okay? And the reading that we're going to be focusing on today is a past life reading. And what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen, in this reading is similar to the shadow readings that I've posted in the past here. And basically, what this reading does, it traces negative patterns by just basically revisiting the origins of the past from which these patterns emerged. Okay? And so, the goal of what I like you to do is to keep an open mind and to try to work on these patterns that you're seeing that I'm conveying here and to learn from them. And many of you probably have already learned from them. And then you have to let go, ladies and gentlemen, and let God. Okay? So that you can be a better person. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to go on and just shuffle up here. And we're going to start off, as usual, with an overarching theme. And with this theme, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that tends to come up time and time again that you're refining, perhaps throughout your lifetime. But awareness is key, okay? And once you learn these various negative traits or patterns, you can certainly do something about it, okay? So as you can see here, I am shuffling up the deck here, and we're going to just ask Spirit, what lessons are Scorpios learning from a prior lifetime? What lessons, spirits, are Scorpio learning from a prior lifetime? Let's start off with the overarching theme as indicated. Phobias. So, we already know that phobias are all about various fears, okay? And this might be the reason why you guys have a lot of fears today here, because you are revisiting a past lifetime where you used them. So many of you are still clinging to phobias from a prior lifetime. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to release these anxieties. Surrender your need to control situations and the outcome. Understand that there are things in life over which, Scorpios, you have no control. Awareness is key, but the bottom line is that Spirit wants you to release fear. Stop thinking the worst in everything, you know? And to just get moving here, that I'm kind of feeling. So now let's just take a peek and see what lifetime might have triggered the situation in which you currently find yourself in here. Okay? And that card that we're going to be selecting here today is, wow, you have an amazing card here. You have biblical. Okay, Scorpio. And with having biblical there, that certainly paints a very, very, very different picture of a lifestyle that you've gone in, or you were in. And it denotes that you were present, ladies and gentlemen, when Jesus and Moses roamed the world. You either lived in one of the Holy Lands or you were a follower. It looks like you guys shared a lot of experience both with both of the figures that you find both in the New Testament as well as the Old Testament. You know these people quite well. And you know what really occurred. And for this reason, when you're hearing various messages from the Bible, or someone just talking about the Bible or just spirituality in general, you don't really buy the traditional interpretations. And the reason why you don't, Scorpio, is because, once again, you were there and you know what happened. And it seems that in this life, many of you are making a conscious effort to follow your own star, your own religious path, if you will, here. And it appears that the horrors that many of you experience, they somewhat limited your gifts here, particularly your gift of clairvoyance here. And I feel that many of you already know that you have the gift of second sight, but you kind of question yourself a bit too much here. Okay? So Spirit wants you to go on and just, once again, you have to surrender fear and believe that you can do it. And to call on those biblical figures to assist you here. Okay? Now let's look at your current situation and what Spirit really wants you to know in regards to this matter here. Wow. You have persecution, ladies and gentlemen, and inquisition. Keep in mind, Scorpio, if the reading is resonating, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that each and every one of you receive future readings. So with that card, it certainly looks like in a prior lifetime, you were constantly accused. And it looks like what you were accused of, or it looks like it was either witchcraft or just simply being very promiscuous, which you were, I'm kind of getting here. And thus, you suffered a great deal here. And those two things that you were accused of, they were known or recognized at the time, or that lifetime, in that lifetime that you were living, as a capital offense. I also feel that you were constantly accused of crime that certainly you had nothing to do with. People just always saw you as a troublemaker, that I'm kind of getting here. Okay? So in this life, you might find some of the same things happening. Understand where from which it stems here. Spirit says you do have keen clairvoyant abilities and even the ability to heal others. You experienced a very painful death, I'm kind of getting to here back during that time. I feel that when it comes to your gifts, particularly your esoteric gifts, like your psychic type talents, many of you, because of what may have occurred in a previous lifetime, you keep it kind of secret in some way, or you just don't really push yourself as far as you really can go. And the reason being is because you don't want to revisit the pain that you felt from this lifetime and other lifetimes. Again, Spirit wants you to surrender fear. Understand that has been a recurring message throughout your readings. Surrendering fear and moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, with what you know or what you feel as your spiritual truth, your path. Okay? Now let's take a peek and just look at the outcome. You know, what you can expect here, or whatever it is that Spirit wants you to know in regards to your situation here. We have wisdom. You guys are very smart. Whether you feel that you are, you are. And certainly in a previous lifetime, that lifetime provided you with wisdom that you might could consider using now here. You know, you're not lost for knowledge or wisdom. And it seems the Spirit wants you to continue your education, which is something many of you might have been contemplating for some time now. And some of you might even also be in a process of changing careers. Again, it's eliminating fear and getting moving that Spirit wants you to do. But Spirit also wants you to be very courageous and to believe in yourself, okay? So that you can achieve, Scorpio, the success that your heart certainly desires. And with that said, that is your reading. I certainly hope that it has offered food for thought. Should any of you wishes to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly access my website to schedule in or to purchase. I certainly look forward to hearing your comments. Have a beautiful day. Thanks a lot.